Let's have a look at all the powers and items for Winston in Overwatch 2 Stadium. Winston is joining Stadium in Overwatch 2 next week. So let's have an early look at all of his powers and his unique items. Alright, let's start with his weapon items. He has 2 rare ones, 2 epic ones. The first rare one is called Current Converter. 10% weapon lifesteal. Gain 50% of damage dealt by Tesla Cannon's secondary fire. Has overhealth up to 100. Let's see what that looks like. So if we walk up to these guys and zap them with our secondary fire, you'll see our overhealth slowly ticking up. It is really slowly. But yeah, can only help out with trying to poke. The second rare weapon item is called Deconstructor. Gives you 15% max ammo, which in the case of Tesla Cannon is helpful. Tesla Cannon deals 50% more damage to deployable objects such as turrets and barriers. That is a useful item. I mean, Winston is pretty good with the Symmetra turrets, but the bigger ones, not as much. And especially the barriers are going to help out. When it comes to the epic ones, Gibraltar Generator, 10% weapon power. Barrier Projector grants Winston 10% increased weapon power while inside. I mean, I think that is pretty clear. If you're in the bubble, you're going to do 10% more damage, or at least the weapon damage is going to be off for 10%. If you're out, that doesn't count anymore. So you need to stay in the bubble. The second epic weapon item is called Herald's Glasses. Item gives you 25% max ammo, again very useful. Tesla Cannon's secondary fire deals 25% increased damage. So let's have a look at the secondary fire fully charged on this bot. About 2 blocks and a little bit. Then we equip the glasses. And we got to a full 3 blocks. So there you can see the difference between the two. Moving on to the ability items. There's 1 rare one and 3 epic ones. The first rare one is called G Suit. 5% cooldown reduction, 5% move speed. After activating jump pack, increase move speed by 50% for 2 seconds with your next jump. This is actually quite an interesting one. If you use our jetpack, we're going to move normal. Unless we jump, then you see the green fade. See that? That means we got a little speed boost. But that actually means that you can time the speed boost for yourself. You prime it by using your jet boost, and then you jump, and there you go. You got your little speed boost. It's going to keep you very mobile. Now for the epic items, the first one is called Horizon Expander. 20% ability power. Jump pack's landing area can increase by up to 100% while airborne. Let's give that a try. So as you are up in the air, your landing area, the area that you do damage in, is going to grow. So you do more damage to more enemies if you take a higher jump. The second one is called Unstable Prototype, 10% cooldown reduction. Barrier Projector bursts when it's removed, dealing 25 electric damage to nearby enemies. So your bubble, when being removed, so that is either being damaged. I presume it's also when it just depletes. I don't know, we'll see. Yeah, even if it just depletes, it doesn't even need to be killed. It is going to shock the enemies that are close enough. Now, the range is rather small. Let me put it right there. I would consider that bot to be really close, or rather close. But as you'll see, doesn't damage this one. It did damage the other guy though. Last ability item is called Lungchang Launchers. It looks like it is a big one. 50% Primal Rage duration, 50% jump pack base damage. And then during Primal Rage, jump pack's base damage becomes electric and can increase up to an additional 100% while airborne. So it's kind of combining the previous one that we had, but it stacks a lot of stuff on your ultimate basically, and your jump pack. In other words, well, let's just have a look at the jump. So this is going to do more damage by itself. But then if you... Oh, that damage is electric, as you can see. There's sparks flying off every time I land. And on top of that, we get the same thing where the longer we stay in the air, the more damage it's going to do. It adds a little extra oomph to your ultimate. Let's move over to the survival tab. for, well, I think the first time ever there's a common survival item. And it's a funny one. It's called Winston. Very appropriate name. Gives you 10 health. Winning a round awards Winston 2000 bonus cash. I like the fact that they made this meme into an item. And then when it comes to the rare ones, the first one is called Premium Peanut Butter. 25 health using jump pack cleanses all negative effects. Can come in handy. So every time you're going to jump away, any debuff that is on you is going to be cleansed. Next up is Smart Armor. 25 armor. While below 50% life, take 25% reduced damage from shotguns such as Reaper, Junker Queen, and Diva's primary fire. So that is going to help you to kind of counter those heroes that might make your life a living nightmare, basically. But you'll have to dip below 50% life, so yeah, good luck. In the epic category, there's S Pace Armor, 50 armor. When exiting Primal Rage, gain 150 overhealth. Let's give that one a try. First, you're going to get the charge. You're going to get all angry, punch people around. Goodbye. Then we're going to calm down. And we're getting the overhealth. So if you would get yourself in trouble and overextend a little bit during your Primal Rage, you got yourself covered. The second one is called Fortified Jump Pack. 50 armor. Damage received during jump pack is reduced by 35%. So anytime you're going to use your jump pack, you're going to be a little bit invulnerable to damage. And the last one, the last item actually for Winston is called Simian Supplements. 50% barrier projector duration, so your bubble is going to stay up longer. Barrier projector's max health is increased by 300. So not only is your bubble going to stay longer, it also has close to 1000 health. Alright, let's move over to the powers. The first one is called Circuit Breaker. Electric damage is increased by 5%. Gain 15% of electric damage as overhealth up to 100. So, using your weapon is actually going to give you overhealth, as you can see on the bottom left. And it will give you a maximum of 100 overhealth. The second one is called Electro Cluster. 20% Tesla Cannon primary fire max range. So your Tesla Cannon is going to reach further. Tesla Cannon's primary fire deals 3% increased damage per enemy being hit. So first off, the distance. Let's see. If I'm at the 10 meter mark, I cannot hit these robots. Now, in case I use that power, that is a different story. And since we are actually hitting 2 of these bots, we get a 6% extra damage boost. So the more of these targets you hit with your primary fire, the better, because you'll get 3% for each of them. Next up, Lightning Rod. Hits with Tesla Cannon's fully charged secondary fire bounce to all other enemies within 6 meters for 50% reduced damage. So the primary fire can be buffed, but so can the secondary fire. So if we charge it to its fullest extent, let it go. It's going to jump to the second bot for 50% of that damage. Now if 3 to 4 people are standing close to each other, you're going to do a good amount of damage. And then if you combine it with the other, well, you're going to be cooking. Literally. The last one for Tesla Cannon is a Volatile Volt. Tesla Cannon's secondary fire can critically hit for 175% damage. So to critically hit, you need to hit him in the face.
My condolences.
But if you have the max charge, that is going to be 175%.
I'm over the moon.
Alright, moving over to his jump pack. Lunar Leap. Gain 2% bonus ultimate charge per enemy damage by jump pack's landing. While using jump pack, gain 5% of max life as overhealth every 1 second up to 100. So this is all about your jump pack. Let's hit some targets. You can see that my ultimate charge just jumped up because I hit 1 target. If I would be able to hit multiple targets,
Touching down.
we're going to get more ultimate charge. But also on top of that, as you can see, the longer I stay in the sky, the more overhealth I actually will get. So yeah, you're getting a lot of value out of your jump pack. Second one is called Moon Landing. Heal for 7% of max life per enemy damaged by jump pack's landing. kind of a similar deal, but instead of getting all charge, you're going to heal yourself. So let's say that these guys have damaged me, emotionally and physically. If I want to heal myself, I'll just jump this guy, and there we go. Took some health, 7% actually. Last jump pack power is called Primal Punch. Melee or jump pack eliminations reset jump pack's cooldown. For every 25 armor you have, gain 5% melee damage. You can jump in,
Touching down.
punch him, and basically jump out immediately. I mean, I would not advise to do it that way. I would do more than just punching them, but...
Don't mess with a flying scientist.
Your melees are going to be stronger depending on how much armor you have. So stack some armor and that is going to be fine. Moving over to the barrier projector powers. Pocket projector. Activating barrier projector attaches an additional smaller barrier projector to Winston with 5% health. That is the little mini bubble we got to see in the trailer. If you drop your bubble, you're going to get a little shield for yourself. So you can leave that big bubble behind for your team and use the small one for yourself. There's also Surge Protector. Allies within the barrier gain 25 temporary overhealth every 1 second, up to 100. So anyone that's standing in here will get the overhealth. It will tick up till you have 100. And it will slowly dissipate. But that will definitely help. There's Tesla Field. Enemies within the barrier protector take 40 electric damage every 1 second. So that's the reverse of what we just had. Anybody standing in there is going to take a serious amount of damage. Look at that. That's actually pretty good. I think you can slowly start to see the potential and the combinations that you can do. Moving over to his ultimate, Primal Rage. There's Primal Slam. While using jump pack, press jump to quickly slam towards your current facing direction. During Primal Rage, slam speed is increased by 50%. So, you don't need to be in Primal Rage to use this, but if you are in Primal Rage, the slam speed is going to be increased by 50%. So what that basically does is that it gives you a little extra jump.
Going down.
As you can see. So that will allow you to do damage twice, I guess.
Diverting momentum. Altering vector.
Oh, look at that. So if you do that... Oh my god. Yeah, that is impressive. That is an interesting one. Thick skin. When activating Primal Rage, Winston gains additional armor equal to 100% of the max armor. Let's go, let's have a look. Yeah, that's 1500. Now, I'm kind of curious. I want to give something a try before we end this video. If I combine that item with the one where I get 5% extra melee damage per 25 armor. How does that work out? Is that considered to be melee when he's using his ult? I think so. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Yep. Okay. Yep, that's a good combination right there. And that was it for Winston. As I said, he will be available in Stadium next week on Tuesday, August 26th with the start of Season 18. Now tell me, what combo of powers and items are you planning to use? Let me know in the comments. Or come tell me during my streams over on twitch.tv/DeemziesTV. See you there. For now, however, that was it. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up. It always helps me out. I also want to thank my patrons and YouTube members. You too can become a member over on patreon.com/theomnicpost and right here on YouTube to unlock exclusive rewards. If you have a few minutes left, maybe check out one of my other videos. But above all, take care of yourself, take care of each other. Bye bye.